Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing an analysis of EURUSD for the week of October 2nd. Now, you might have noticed this is my first video on this channel, and I have plans to continue making pair analysis, trade breakdowns, and other Forex related videos to help you improve your trading and your psychology in the markets. None of this is financial advice, and I am just showing you guys what I am looking for throughout this week. Now let's dive in. Alright guys, here I am on EURUSD, currently on the monthly time frame because I'm looking for zones that are farther dated back in the past, and that's a lot easier to find from the higher time frames. And for those of you who don't know, I am a supply and demand trader. I am not a retail or trend line sort of trader. I just do supply and demand and imbalances and liquidity for the most part. So I'll draw this zone up because it's our last consolidated spot before we get this huge imbalance run up to here that's currently sort of being closed in on. Fundamentally, we know the euro has been losing a lot of steam this year overall, and has been, it fell under the 1.0, which is a huge psychological mark for it. And so we can be looking for price to possibly head bearish still, but we're not here to try and guess where price is going. We're just trying to react off what price does. So let me refine this zone, which is what I'm doing. This looks really could draw it up from about there, because that's seems to be our last real consolidated before we run. We go back to current. Here we are. All right, so we've got a distance of about 800 pips from this zone. So it's not like we're looking to catch it all the way down this zone in one move necessarily, because we've got to catch it. We've been trending lower lows, lower highs for a while now, literally for a long time, on the daily time frame that is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw up our most recent supply and demand for the daily. So we've got obviously this supply with the imbalance right next to it, which is what I like. And then this one, the imbalance is all mitigated, so maybe I'll find one on a lower time frame, but for right now I'll probably leave it at that. Like I said, I don't need to draw up every supply zone I see, even though these ones have imbalances and they're back here, because I've got this one, it's my most recent. The other ones are all kind of out of the way. I don't need to clutter up my whole screen with them. So I'm going to drop down to the 4 hour now, and we're going to take a look. And really, this zone could also be very relevant. I may choose to even draw it up over this one, but because this one is mitigated on these lower time frames, except for about right here. And right here where it's already cleared that imbalance. So actually I believe I will move this. I like this a lot better anyways. Got this absolutely huge imbalance. And then over here we've started to form imbalances, but now we're starting to look like we're headed up. So I'm going to draw up what seems to be our most recent demand zone on the 4 hour. So now we've got our supply zone, our demand zone. On these lower time frames, let's go even lower. We're down to the 1 hour now, so I'm just using this to refine what we've already got. We've got this. Let's refine it up. Okay. And then let's take a look. So we've got this zone, which is currently about 330 pips away. It's not really like a 4 hour move or a 1 hour move. And I like to trade intraday. I'm more of a day trader than a scalper. My trades usually last about a day, maybe a little bit longer, a week max. Rarely does it go to a week, and it's usually not within just like an hour. So it's kind of like that couple days, a day sort of style. So trading and waiting for 300 pips is a long time, so I'm going to keep moving it down. So as you can see, we've got this imbalance on this 1 hour with the supply. I have it marked blue, but it's a supply zone. And it's already been touched and respected. There hasn't been a firm close outside of the supply zone to really invalidate it. And so we don't know exactly where price is headed yet, because we've got this touch, it's been respected, it's headed down. But now we're in this bullish trend we've got going here, bullish. We could look for it like this, but we don't know yet because, like I said, we just hit the supply zone. Because what could happen is we've got that, and then we could go boom, and then it could either maybe want to come down all the way to this demand zone before heading up farther, or it could just invalidate the demand zone, and then we could be looking for sells possibly, or even down to this demand zone. So what I'm really waiting on right now is I'm going to set an alert. And where I'll do it is I'll set it right there. Because if price ends up going through and, and invalidating the supply zone, that really here, I'll mark the most recent supply zone to make it a little bit easier to look at. So we've got this one that's within, and I'll even get rid of this other one. So we're looking for price to invalidate this or respect it. We're just we have this set here so we can know. So if this invalidates, it goes through, we could be looking for buys to possibly our next supply zone up here, which could be this one, but that's a long ways away. We could be looking for one a little bit on the shorter end of it, like this one, which is a lot, 100 pips. So it's a lot closer of a move. Or we could be looking for price to not go through it, and it could touch, and then we could look for it to come down to here. Maybe it'll stop at this one, but I'd still rather draw the deeper one. Let me even refine it a little bit on this time frame, because we've got these imbalances right here. So we could see for it to touch down to here and then proceed to shoot up, or just continue a bearish trend through. Which is why if it does come down to here, I'm really going to be looking for a confirmation to do one or the other, where we'll either be waiting for it to come all the way out, invalidate it, and then we're looking for sells down, or it could come up, touch it, and then we're looking for like smaller time frame, like 5 minute, to make like moves like this, set a high or break our old highs, and then we could look for, a buy opportunity. But we don't know yet. We're just trying to react as to where it'll go, but we just want to know what we're going to do when price goes to certain spots. So for now, I'm really just in a waiting game, waiting to see what it decides to do next, because if price could literally just, consolidate out, and then I've got nothing, and that's fine. It's fine. Sometimes no trades are way better than a bad trade. Well, no trades are always better than a bad trade. So there are buy and sell opportunities this week, just depending on how price moves. So if it goes through the supply zone, we could be looking for buy opportunities up unto the next supply zone, or maybe there's another supply zone that I don't have marked up. And if we're looking for sell opportunities, we could have this. And then if it does touch it, I would like confirmation. I'm not just taking it in right off the zone down to there. And there could also be buy opportunities from here up with confirmation. And there is the chance that it's a lot slimmer, but we could start forming this bearish trend and maybe find some sort of entry for a short somewhere in here. I don't know exactly. We'll have to just wait and see how price decides to move. But there could be something that looks more like that. Touching this, say there's a supply zone here, we hit it, maybe a even smaller 1 minute time frame confirm, and then we could take it down to this demand zone. But that's not immediately on my mind. I'm actually worried more about the big move, which could be it breaking through here or it breaking through here. So that is currently where I would say I'm at. It's always good to compare it against the DXY, because we know that they will be moving in opposites. So if I drop the DXY real quick, if we go to a time frame, I'm not sure if I need to start on the monthly, considering I'll start on the daily here. So clearly we're in the uptrend because EURUSD has been in the downtrend. And if we look, we've got imbalances here and here. We have this tiny one. It's probably not that tiny, but since I'm on a higher time frame. And then, so let's draw it from, there is this imbalance that it just covered. So it's good to mark just so you can keep up with where price is at currently. So yes, we just covered this imbalance, touched this demand zone. I'm sure if I go into a smaller time frame, like the 4 hour, the 1 hour, let's go into the 1 hour. And we have this down here. And it hasn't reached that. It hasn't even reached this one up here. So I don't really see price heading straight up just yet. I could see it actually heading a little bit farther down before either down to here or down to here, one of the two. No real telling just yet before heading up. Or it could keep forming this bearish downtrend had started, but this bearish downtrend doesn't have that much power just yet, especially considering on the high time frames it's clearly been an uptrend and there hasn't been a true low. It's really broken yet. I'd be waiting for it to actually probably fall through either this demand zone, so if it were to come all the way down, then I'd really be looking for sells, or even like this low, but there's a lot of equals, so that one's a little bit sketchier. So overall, we're really looking more for, if it would be buys on this, then it'd be sells on EU. So ideally, we're looking for this to touch here, and at the same time, we'd want this to touch here, because then we're like, okay, it's go time. We'd feel a lot more confident with that confluence in our trade, but we don't know. We will watch. Now that is all I have for you guys. I hope you use what I've shown and possibly bring it into your own strategy. If you have any other pairs you would like me to bring an analysis to or draw up, I draw up more than just this pair, but I'm just showing you this pair this week. So thank you guys for your time, and peace.